What up, folks? We got a 2013 Nissan Navara. Customer complaint is that the vehicle is losing power and asks if I can diagnose it for him. So let's get it done. So this Nissan Navara belongs to a good friend of mine. He mentioned that while he's driving, he feels like the vehicle is holding back. He's not getting the power like he's supposed to. So he replaced both secondary and main fuel filter, and the vehicle is still acting up, right? So I'm gonna put the scan tool on it, see what codes come up, okay? And let me just take a look and make sure we have no vacuum hose or anything like that that's came apart. And also too, I know the mass airflow tends to give you this problem, you know, a dirty mass airflow can restrict a vehicle, you know. So this vehicle doesn't have an EGR, does it? Right, because I know this engine tends to have EGR problems where, you know, you're losing power on high RPM, right? But I'm not seeing no EGR on this one. Okay, but anyway, so we're gonna put the scan tool on it. Let's see what codes comes up. Okay, so while the scan tool is doing this thing, okay, believe we don't have a TCM because of the manual transmission vehicle, so we shouldn't have a TCM, right? We do have a ECM and a BCM SRS, most likely you see in that what you call it, the SRS light, airbag light flashing, so most likely the spiral is not working. The horn is working, but gotta get that replaced as well, right? So let's see exactly what's going on with the ECM and what faults, you know, show up. It's almost done. It's just taking a little while because of, you know, the age of the vehicle. It's looking for things that's not there. Right, probably with the new vehicle, the new Navara MP300, you will have the, you know, a lot more modules in comparison to this one. It's almost finished. Let's go on to ECM. So we got a P0089 fuel pump. All right, so this is a mechanical fuel pump, but the only thing electrical attached to it is a suction control valve. Okay, so you gotta keep that in the back of your mind. So we don't have no issue when it comes to like massive flow so far. It could be dirty, but it's not the air. So right now we do have a fault on the fuel pump. So we're gonna go into, let's do read data stream. Let's go all signals. So we're gonna look for any sort of information that I can use. Okay, I'm gonna pull up the injectors. I'm gonna look for the fuel pump temperature sensor. What else am I looking for? Massive flow at pump current, right? So that's a current from the suction control valve. Let's see how much it is. And I'm going to look at the, what else? I'm going to look at the actual common rail pressure. So let's press OK. So right now my pressure is 0 because the vehicle is not running, right? And all my fuel injectors is reading the same thing. And my temperature is 27 degrees, mass airflow is 0.5, and pump current is 0, which is good. So let's start this vehicle up and see what's going on. Okay, so the vehicle started right up. I'm hearing like the motor behind, probably the servo motor probably giving problems. Alright, so I'm getting like 42 to 34 megapascals when I crank. Right, my current on my suction control valve is 1.7 amps. Right, mass airflow is reading good. And my injection is not doing anything. I'm getting minus 0.004, you know, volume per stroke. Let's step on the X and see what we gain. Okay, do I have to take this vehicle for a run? Right now I'm seeing 56 megapascal. That's a lot. Alright, let's take this vehicle for a test run and see exactly what's going on. It's going to be a little challenging to drive, look at the scan tool, and drive a manual and hold a camera. So you got to bear with me. But my offsets is not moving at all. I'm expecting these to fluctuate, and it's not doing nothing. Okay, let's look and see what's going on. Okay, well, I'm not seeing no movement on my injectors at all. Seeing that this is a diesel, right, vehicle, the ECU is supposed to be trying to correct trying to correct the vehicle injection, and I'm getting nothing. We got no check engine light on, and I'm not seeing no movement at all. And my actual pressure is like 68. That's really high. So we're not getting no corrections on the injection system. Plus we're getting like high pressure on from a pressure sensor, right, which is on the rail. And the vehicle is like it's, you know, like it's jumping, it's kicking off. Wow, 98 megapascal, that's a lot. This pump is not making all that. So do we have a faulty pressure rail sensor, or is it just a, you know, a fault when it comes to the fuel pump? 70 megapascal, 92, that's a lot of pressure that's building up what I'm seeing. Okay, oh, and I'm not seeing no corrections on my injection at all still. Okay, so let's take this back to the shop and let's take a look and see what's going on with that suction control valve. And also I would like to see what's going on with the mass airflow and see if it's dirty. I don't think it's mass airflow because you're actually not seeing no movement on my injection, so I don't think it's mass airflow. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go after that suction control valve, you know, because it's right now it's not even working like it's supposed to. Okay, so let's head back to the shop. All right, so we got here the high pressure pump, right? So it's located to the side of this engine right here. It's bolted on into the timing. Okay, so right now we got the high pressure pump where we have a suction control valve that's located to the rear of the high pressure pump, right? It's a 2-wire jack that's coming into the solenoid, right? It's held with 2 little Allen key bolts, a 5mm, and they also have a gasket on it, right? And this green jack in between, I'm not sure if you can see it, that's the temperature sensor that's onto the fuel pump, right? So you measure the temperature of the fuel that's coming into the pump, right? So what we gotta do is take this solenoid off, and you could probably check it outside, but I believe that the solenoid is acting up. Okay, so I just got the bolts off, right? There's 2 bolts that's holding it. Okay, we just gotta wiggle it off. Got an O-ring and a gasket, so you just gotta make sure, you know, you just pull it out slowly, and let's see if we could get it unplugged. I may have to put the camera down because the jack was really hard to undo. So matter of fact, let's see if we can get it done. So this is how the valve look. It's right here. As I said, you use a 5mm Allen key just to take it off. Alright, you may have to move the dipstick because it's in the way. So let's see if we could get this jack off and get this valve out. Okay, so I got the old valve off this vehicle. Okay, this how it look. We could do an ohm test and see exactly how many ohms that we gain off this coil. I'm just gonna replace the valve, right? So I gotta go to the parts store, get a new valve. Try to get an original valve. Do not buy these valves off of eBay. I've got burnt already with one before. So try to get original suction control valve, put it in. You got to do a manual reset if you don't have a scan tool. If you do have a scan tool, you can go and do an ECU reset, because you have to let the ECU know that you replaced the, you know, the suction control valve, so you can know exactly what position is in. Okay, so let me go to the parts store and get one and show you exactly how they look. You see the part number. So we're gonna open this up. Already opened it at this store to make sure that all the components is there. Okay, let's open this up. Matter of fact, I should go on a table with this. Alright, so anyway, it came with a gasket. It also comes with 2 screws and the O-ring. Okay, so once you have it, you replace it. It doesn't matter. Alright, come with 2 new screws. You gotta be careful. Do not over tighten these things. Use a Allen key or a 1/4 inch ratchet, and you're supposed to be good. Do not over tighten to damage it. And this is how the new valve looks. Okay, so yeah, so let's open this pack up. Let's replace all the parts. Alright, so I just ohmed out the new one in comparison to the old one. I'm seeing the same 20 ohms. Okay, what does that say? I mean, the coil could be good, but it just, you know, have crap in the plunger, I guess. Right, you see it's kind of discolored. Right, this valve has never been changed, I can tell. Right, so let's pop this one in and let's see if it makes a difference. Alright, so with the valve installed, we gotta do a relearn, because if you don't, the vehicle is gonna flag that you have the same code from before. Alright, but also you can do it with the scan tool or you can do it manually. So I'm gonna do it with the scan tool because I have access to it, but if not, you can use the procedure, which I'm going to leave at the end of the video for you to check out. Right, so let's go and put the key on, engine off, and let's do this procedure, right, using the scan tool, and make sure that the code comes off before we take the vehicle for a spin. Okay, so I'm going to do a full scan of this vehicle. Alright, so when that's complete, I'm going to clear the codes that's on the system. Right, we will have the airbag module SRS thing still there, but other than that, you're supposed to have a, you know, clean bill of health. Right now I'm not seeing no fault on the ECM, which is good. Right, so to wrap this up, I did scan the vehicle and clear the code, but I'm going to show you exactly what you need to go into to get the system relearned. So once I do everything, I'm going to show you what I did.
I might let a hater slide on a good day. I'm just trying to catch a vibe, can you feel me? Long as we living our lives, then it's okay. Everything is okay. I might let a hater slide on a good day. I'm just trying to catch a vibe, can you feel me? Long as we living our lives, then it's okay. Cool.
Alright, so with the scan being complete, we got no fault codes, because I did erase the P0089, right? But I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. Okay, you gotta go into actuation test, and you gotta look for this pump learn clear. So once you press that, waiting for operation, you press clear. So what this doing is resetting the parameters that the suction control valve, you know, was working on. So we're going to come out of here and we're going to look at read data stream. I'm going to pull up my actual common rail pressure. I'm going to look for my injectors, okay, my offsets. I'm going to also look for my math and my vehicle speed. What else am I going to look for? Okay, let's look for some other stuff, right? What else I'm going to look for? And I can look for my barrel sensor. Let's look for that. Okay, let's graph it. Okay, so with that, now I can start the vehicle up and let's see what's going on. Okay, don't worry about that noise you're hearing in the background. Right now I'm seeing like 30 megapascals, so of course it shoot up just because we starting the vehicle up, but that's real good. So let's take this vehicle for a spin and see exactly, you know, what's going on. Okay, so we're driving this vehicle and just looking at some parameters and see what's going on. Okay, definitely feel like the power has returned. That's what's up. Okay, so this vehicle is definitely performing way better than before. Alright, so you see it be accelerating, and I'm gonna call this a fix. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Right, give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of video. If you don't like it, you know, give me a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments why you don't like this video. Right, but definitely gonna call this a fix. So we got a P0089 on a Nissan Navara, right, with a D40 setup. Okay, with the YD25 engine, right? So we're gonna call that a fix for sure. Other than that, y'all take it easy. Until next time, peace.